Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a Stitch With Me video. If you hear snoring in the background, that is my dog. I'm in my office and she is sleeping in the bed next to me. New project. I am starting the hands-on design tulip house. I am going to do the small one first. The spring design. I am stitching this on Fiberlicious 14 count Aida and chalkboard. If you saw my Let's Chat With Me video, you'll know all about my color changes and all of that. So I do have a couple little stories before we get into the tag. Don't I always have a story? Wait a minute, let me count this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if you saw my craft spot tour that went up a couple days before this, you'll know that, you know, my husband, I was talking to him and I was like, man, I really wish I had a spot dedicated to crafting. And we have that dining room in our house that is never used. And he was like, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a lot of counting in this. He was like, why don't you just use that dining room? He said, we can even get rid of the furniture. And, you know, and I was like, I didn't want to go through the hassle of getting rid of the furniture. But what I realized when I was getting this fabric ready, it is hard, or at least I found it difficult, to get the crease out where the fabric is folded. Even with using best press, water, ironing, I found it really difficult to get that crease right out of the fabric. And so I had the idea, because I was storing my fabric in my IKEA cart folded up, how it came in the package. We have, if you remember from the tour, there is a china cabinet in that room. And there are 2 drawers, and the thread knotted up. God damn it. I get more knots in my thread, I swear. That's a good one too. At least I can pull it out though. There is a china cabinet that we have china in it, and I'm pretty sure it's his mom's china. And then below it, there are 2 long drawers that we had some Christmas stuff in. But I thought to myself, you know what? I need to iron all of my fabric and lay it flat in those drawers. So as soon as I'm done shooting this video, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be ironing that fabric and putting it in the drawers. So that's going to take me a while. And then of course, as I get fabric in, it'll just be easier. I'll just iron each piece as I get it. But yeah, so I'm going to do that and store it in those drawers. Oh, what am I saying? You'll see it. You saw it in the tour. See, I'm filming this before I'm filming the tour, because I'm still waiting for 2 things to come in. I want that room to be perfect before I show you guys. So yeah, gonna be ironing some fabric here today. But okay. I have a good FedEx story. Well, I don't know if it's good, but it's something that happened. So for finishing, like cube finishes, I have started to look online for floral picks, because not every place has a lot of choices for floral picks. So I found this store called Craft Outlet, and I'm pretty sure it's craftoutlet.com. So I ordered some Valentine picks, some St. Patrick's picks, and some Easter ones. Well, it was coming by FedEx. Okay, that was like the only way they shipped it. So it was supposed to be here Thursday, but then it got rerouted or something. I don't know. So it says, okay, Friday. So as you know, we have security cameras that are right in front of my computer monitor, so I can see when mail or delivery comes. So I see the FedEx driver pull up, run to the front door, put the package on the stoop, and drive away. Now, I'm in the middle of something for work, so I don't go out there right away and get the package. I probably wait 2 or 3 minutes. So I go out there, I grab the package, I come upstairs. Just as I am going to open it with a razor knife, I happen to look at the address. My house number is 105. This said 119 and not my name on it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, great. So now not only do I have to call FedEx and tell them something, the wrong package was delivered. Now I'm not going to get my package until God knows when. So I'm actually walking outside. I decided to walk outside. I was going to put the package back on the front step. I don't know why I was going to do that. But just as I was walking out, here comes the FedEx driver down the street. So I'm like waving my arms like a crazy person to flag him down. So he stops and he says, oh, I was coming back to get that. And I said, well, yeah, it is the wrong house number. I said, but there should be something in there for me. And so he's in the truck looking. I mean, a good couple minutes goes by. And he comes back out, and I kid you not, and he says, I have to come back. He said, I'm going to go over to the street next to yours. He said, I messed up on one stop. And he said, when I mess up on one stop, then I mess up on every other stop. And I'm like, what? Because as a driver, now I don't know the ins and outs of package delivery, but I'm also not a moron. So when you go to deliver a package, would you not look at the address to make sure it's the right house number? Right? Am I wrong about that? So he drives away, and it's a good, I don't know, 10 minutes. I see him drive by the house again and down the street, and I'm like, oh my God. So eventually he brings my package back to me, my right one. But I was like, really right now? Like, yeah, am I wrong about that? Like, why would you not check the address no matter, because I know they load their trucks in a certain order so you can grab the package and deliver it. I get that part. But what I don't get is why you still are not checking the address, because I understand mistakes happen, but you mess up one house and then you mess up like 50 others. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. You know? I don't know. Okay. So there was that little thing that happened. And then, I lost power last week. Yeah. So I wound up buying a new modem, computer modem, cable modem, for my internet, because my husband's been bitching about our internet is so slow. And I happened to look, because I bought my previous modem on Amazon. It had been 6 years since we had bought our modem. So I'm like, okay, fine. So then the modem is faster than my current internet, than the previous one. So that's good. It's not like lightning fast, but what I discovered, which my mind was blown, what I discovered when my power was out, I used the hotspot on my iPad, because I have unlimited data on my iPad and my cell phone, and you have the option of having a hotspot. So I was using the hotspot when I didn't have power or when I didn't have internet. I was using the hotspot on my iPad so I could get some work stuff done last week. And I had also filmed a video. And I had it scheduled to go up before our internet was back on. So I said to my husband, you know, I'm just going to use the hotspot and see if I can upload it that way. Now this was, I want to say, a half-hour video. Now to give you a time frame, a normal half-hour video on my regular internet connection through my cable modem, it will take an hour or two to upload to YouTube. Yeah, and I didn't think anything of that until when I went to use my hotspot for my iPad. It uploaded that half-hour video in 5 minutes. For those people who are tech savvy, I find that so amazing. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, a video that normally takes 2 hours, it will upload on my hotspot in 5 minutes. So what I am doing now, every time I upload a video, I just use my hotspot, and it takes and for a video that's really short, like 6 or 7 minutes, it takes like 1 minute. I kid you not. I was just amazed, and my husband's like, I don't understand that. I'm like, I don't either, but it is what it is. Like, okay. I actually think it's really awesome that I discovered that because, yeah, video uploaded in 2 minutes instead of 3 hours. Because everyone's always complaining that does Flosstube or YouTube about the upload times it takes. It's crazy. Now, I'll be curious to see, like, when I do a video that's an hour, how long that'll take. I'll have to see. Okay, next little story. Now, remember, I'm filming this on a Saturday. You guys are not going to see this until Monday? Yeah. Yesterday was Friday. Work has been brutal. Now, yesterday I got done work early, thank God. My husband and I ordered Chinese for dinner, which actually sucked ass because I tried to order something different than I normally get. Don't do it. I should have known just to stick to my regular stuff that I get. So it got to be 9 o'clock. Now my husband gets up at 4:15. So by 9 o'clock he was tired. He's like, I'm going to bed. So I was like, I was tired myself because I've been staying up a little late. I've been working late, so then I've been staying up late. And then getting up early and just not getting enough sleep. But I did not want to go to bed on Friday night at 9 o'clock. I wanted to stitch. So what do? I have a cup of coffee. Oh my good God. I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning. I got a bunch of stitching done. I am working on my hands-on design year in chalk, the March square, and I'm almost done because I was halfway done with that last month. But yeah, so I worked on that, and I watched 2 awesome movies. The remake of Murder on the Orient Express, loved it. Now, I did not read the book by Agatha Christie, and I did not see the original movie, so I did not know what was going to happen. So I'm guessing that's why I really liked it. One reason why. Yeah, really enjoyed that. And then the second movie I watched, which is probably the best movie I've seen this year, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I think it's Ebbing or Edding. I think it's Ebbing. Oh my God, with Frances Dormand and Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockhart? Sam something. It's not Rockhart. You'll know him if you see him. Fantastic movie. It made me cry. And there was a bunch of times where I wasn't even stitching because I was just watching the movie. But yeah, that went until 2:30. And then I'm like, I gotta get in my bed. So I sat down and I was actually watching a little bit of Flosstube, and then at 3 o'clock I went to sleep. But you know what I've come to realize, and this is going to lead into my next little story time. You guys know that I've been trying to do weight loss and have better health, not even weight loss, just have better health habits. Because every day I get up and I feel like I am constantly at war with myself about getting enough sleep, about eating right, about blah, 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 blah. I mean, everything. And last night when I went to bed, I thought to myself, you know what? This is how I am right now in my life, in this period of my life. You know, every decade of our lives, I think, is different. We're different. Very different from when I was in my 20s and then my 30s, and now I'm in my 40s. And instead of constantly fighting against myself about staying up late, eating at night, all the different things that I constantly am on myself and critical to myself about, I think the biggest thing I need to strive for this year is accepting me for me. Is accepting this is how I am right now. I'm okay how I am right now. Even though I still weigh 190 pounds, I'm okay with that. Because this body got me through cancer last year. This body gets me through a workday every day. And not that that gives me, you know, a license to binge and eat a bunch of junk food and totally, you know, abuse my body and things like that. But it is more, for me, mentally accepting myself and coming to terms with it's okay. It's okay that I eat cheese and crackers at night. It's okay if I stay up on a Friday night, 3 in the morning. I don't do that every night. I actually, believe it or not, have been going to bed about 10:30 during the week, which is actually very different than what I have been because I was staying up until 1 in the morning. And just relaxing those rigid rules I try to place on myself, and then I'm constantly berating myself. I'm constantly, you know, down on myself and just critical, and it has to stop. It's got to stop because it just does. Because I think that affects our mental and our physical state too, how we feel about our bodies. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to really be doing so much of those monthly check-ins anymore. I might still do it because it's a good way to still just check in and see how I feel about, you know, what's going on. But yeah, I came to that realization last night. Not feeling guilty about drinking a soda or eating whatever. I mean, I lived my whole life like that. And it's really time to just let it go, to just stop doing it. Yeah. Okay. So we are 18 minutes in, and I'm just getting to the tag. And I'm trying to find the next spot where I'm going to go here because let me go over here. We're at 1, 2, up 1. Please tell me I'm stitching the right color. Are you frigging kidding me right now? I don't think I am. Oh my God. Nope. I gotta tear all that out. That's supposed to be pink. That's not supposed to be white. Oh my God. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I wanted to stitch the white first, and I stitched. Alrighty. So let's get into this tag. It's called my first time tag. And no, not that first time, you dirty, nasty people. It is 24 questions. Very first question, your first tweet. I don't use Twitter. I do have a Twitter account. I want to say my first tweet was back in 2009 or 10. Yeah, it was. I'm not a Twitter person, but I was on there briefly at that time. Question number 2, first YouTube video. Actually, my very first video I put on YouTube was probably a year before I started doing Flosstube. I, at one point, had taken online piano lessons, keyboard lessons, and I had one of the pieces of music was Billy Joel's Piano Man, a snippet of that, and I had actually learned how to play it, and I recorded myself playing it and uploaded it to YouTube so like my mom and everybody could see it. So yeah, I've since deleted that video, and I stopped taking the lessons online. I can't do everything. We know this. I can't. I have to pick and choose things. So yeah, I decided to not go forward with that. Okay, number 3, first person you subscribed to on YouTube. Coffee Stitcher, Garrett. He was the very first person that I ever watched on YouTube and loved him. So that was where my love affair with Flosstube started. Seeing his videos. Okay. Number 4, first Facebook profile pic. And I meant to look this up. I don't even know. I'm trying to think when I started Facebook, what would my profile picture have been? Started Facebook 2009. Hi, babe. You can say hi. I'm just recording a Stitch With Me video. There, the camera's here, so you'd have to have your face right here, but you can. I can't see you yet. I can see your your beard.
I had a reel break. I got by now reel.
Okay, how did it break?
I don't know. Being ready to get pulled on, it just broke.
So you going to Bass Pro Shop?
Maybe next weekend.
Okay. You sound like me with my crafting stuff. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, first Facebook profile pic. I honestly cannot remember. It probably was a picture of me as a kid. I don't know. I do remember when I first got on Facebook, though. It was in 2009. Okay. And I'm trying to read the questions here. Number 5. Do you still talk to your first love?
Is your iron on or something out here?
Yes. Is it burning?
It smells like it.
No, I thought I turned it off. Go see if it's on. I thought I turned it off. Jesus.
No, it's on.
Okay, just turn it off for right now.
How you turn it off?
There's a knob on the top that you like have to twist. See where it says min or max? Just do it till it says min.
Does it turn off? You just unplug it?
Yeah, just unplug it then.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's because I'm going to be coming out there and ironing all that fabric when I'm done this.
Oh, okay.
Because what I'm going to do, did you see? I'm going to, you know those 2 drawers where we had like the Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
I'm going to iron my fabric and lay it flat in those drawers.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, back to the tag. Now that you've heard, yeah. Do you still talk to your first love? Actually, I'm friends with them on Facebook. We periodically here and there, not very much. Yeah, so technically, yes. Yes, I do. And my husband knows I'm friends with him on Facebook, so it's not like I'm keeping a secret. What was your first alcoholic drink? Wine cooler, I'm sure. Or it could have been a margarita on my 21st birthday because I did not drink before I was actually allowed to. I just didn't do it. So yeah, it probably was the... No, I'm good, babe. I'll eat something later. I don't know what I'm going to eat. He's making a sandwich and asking me if I want something. What was your first job? Ugh, the Limited. You know that clothing store? It was in our mall. And I remember I hated that job because they required you to wear their clothing. And I was making like $3.30 an hour. That's what minimum wage was then. I didn't have enough money to buy their clothes. So they provided me a t-shirt that I wore every single time I worked. Yeah, that said the Limited on it. I didn't work there very long. I think I worked there like 2 months and was like, I'm done. Yeah, so that was my first job. What was your first car? When I turned 16 and got my license, my parents actually did get me a car. It was a white Plymouth Duster. And I had the car for 2 or 3 months and rear-ended somebody. So the car was taken away and I didn't have a car again until I was a senior in high school and I bought my own car. So, yeah. Okay. Who was the first person to text you today? Jill? Did she text me? I think she did. Or CVS. Because there's a prescription that's ready for me to pick up. And they've been texting me every day to come get it. So, yeah. Okay. Who was the first person you thought of this morning? I'm going to say my husband because, I got to find where I can friggin' start here. Yeah, I'm going to say my husband because he was downstairs doing his stuff with his fishing lures before I was even awake this morning. So I was thinking about that when I woke up because I heard him sneeze. And he sneezes really loud. Okay. Who was your first grade teacher? I think it was Mrs. Hauk, if I remember correctly. It's hard to remember that far back. I know the school I went to was called Rippling Woods, and it was in Millersville. It's actually about 15-20 minutes from where I live now. Wait a minute, I'm making sure I'm counting here right. I'm going to have to stitch that pink though because of... Oh, no I don't. Oh my God, I just realized something. I can erase it because I'm using those erasable highlighters. And I have a product review video of them coming up in a couple days after this. It's quite a funny video, I have to say. Okay. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? New York City. When I was in college, the guy I was dating for the last two years, 2 or 3 years in a row at Christmas time, as soon as I was done, not as soon as I was done, I would say for 4 days around Christmas, him and I went to New York City, stayed in a hotel, did the touristy thing. The very first year that we went, it was a surprise for me for Christmas. So he, we took this little tiny charter plane and went. That was the first time I'd ever been on a plane, and holy crap. Scary riding on a plane that only fits 7 people. Yeah. Okay, 13. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend was Robin in elementary school, and no, we don't talk. We are friends on Facebook, and she actually, believe it or not, dated my brother about 2 years ago or so. They dated off and on for a while, but it didn't work out. And but yeah, no, like I said, I'm friends with her on Facebook, but we don't talk. But man, she was my best friend for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years in school. Where was your first sleepover? Probably at her house. She lived right behind the elementary school we went to, and she was a walker because she could walk to school. So on Friday nights, sometimes I would just, walk home with her and just stay overnight at her house. I'm sure that was my first one. 15. What was the first thing you did this morning? Woke up, went to the bathroom, said good morning to my husband. Yeah, because when I woke up and walked out of my bedroom, he was right there downstairs working on his fishing stuff. Okay. What was the first concert you ever went to? Def Leppard. Senior in high school. The guy I was dating got us tickets. My mom actually let me stay home from school the day after the concert because we got home so late. Because, I was a good student. I didn't sneak out. I didn't do drugs. I didn't talk back. I didn't cause trouble. So, and by that point, my stepfather was out of the picture. So my mom was the parent in the household, and she was pretty lenient once he was gone. Because I don't know if I've told you guys. I think I've told you some stories. Our childhood, my brother and I, it wasn't very good. My stepfather was a very mean and controlling person. He drank, he smoked, and when he drank a lot, he didn't remember what he did, but it didn't matter. Even when he wasn't drinking, he was a very mean person. Dinner time every night at our house was a fiasco. Always arguments, someone crying. And one incident, I think your brain protects you when you've gone through something like that from really remembering all the little tiny incidents that happened. But one incident really sticks out in my mind because of my love of reading. This is going to sound crazy. When I tell this story to people that don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I sound like a crazy person. Like, I sound like I'm making this up, and I assure you I am not making this up. In the house I lived in as a kid, we had a formal living room. So if you guys know what that is, it was like really fancy winged back furniture. We were not allowed to sit in that furniture. The only people that were allowed to sit in that furniture were my stepfather's parents when they came over to visit, which wasn't very often. So that living room was like a museum, basically. Okay. However, one of the pieces of furniture, wait a minute, I've got to make sure I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. One of the pieces of furniture was this plushy wingback chair that sat in front of the window in the living room, so it had good light. Now, even though we were forbidden to sit in this furniture. When my stepfather was not home, I would sit in that chair periodically and read because I love to read. I love to read then as I love to read now. And when I saw him pull up, I would just get up from the chair and go in my room, and he was none the wiser. I mean, this went on for a long time, okay? This one time, wait a minute, let me highlight this before I forget. This one time, I must have been so engrossed in the book I was reading that I didn't see him pull up, and he walked right in the front door. And the living room was literally right inside our front door. So he comes in the front door and he sees me sitting in the chair. And at that point, I want to say I was 16 or 17. And I was dating someone. I had a boyfriend. So I would like to have seen the look on my face when he came in, because I'm sure it was pure shock. My jaw probably fell open. So I knew I was going to be punished. I was going to be grounded. We were grounded for the tiniest little things. If I left a soda can on an end table, I was grounded. So I surely knew that sitting in this chair was going to be, oh my God. And I was right. I was supposed to go out with my boyfriend that night, and I was not allowed to. And to add insult to injury, my stepfather was the kind of person that not only could I not see him that night, you know, we had landlines then. I mean, this is 1990. My stepfather stood there while I made the phone call to my boyfriend, telling him that I could not go out that night. And when he asks why, you know, what's really awful about that whole situation is that you adapt. Those kinds of things just were like no big deal anymore. Like, it didn't faze me when I got grounded or punished, because I was grounded and punished all the time, it felt like. So, and I made no bones about saying, well, I can't go out because I was sitting in the chair reading a book. And when you say that out loud, because I know the guy I was dating, he was like, what? Yeah, like, who punishes their child for reading a book? Sitting in a piece of furniture. It wasn't like I was drinking and eating in it and had my feet all up in the chair. I mean, this craziness, complete and utter craziness. But I now think, you know, as an adult, my stepfather had to have been a very broken individual, because I don't have any contact with him now. I haven't seen him in 20 years, I guess. But yeah, so crazy stuff like that. And that event sticks out in my mind. I will never, ever, ever forget that, I think, as long as I live. But yeah, I got way off on a tangent there. What the hell question was that? Okay, the first concert? Wow, yeah, oh yeah, because I was talking about my mom, and okay, yeah. 17, first broken bone. First broken bone was my collarbone. I was at a slumber party in 6th grade. I'm trying to find my highlighter. Slumber party in 6th grade, and I was trying to do a handstand on a slippery sleeping bag, and I slipped and came right down on my collarbone, and we all heard it crack. Yeah. And the best part was that, is there a question about that? I think I told this story in a previous video, because it was around Halloween. It was like 10 days before Halloween, and I was supposed to be a gypsy that year, and I had to wear backpack straps because that's how they situated a broken collarbone. And yeah, it was just awful all the way around. Oh, geez. I didn't. Okay, so that was the first bone. And I've also broken my foot. So those are the only two that I've broken. Okay, first piercing. Oh, my ears. That's all I have pierced. And I think I had them done as a really young kid because I remember having earrings for as long as I can remember. I mean, I always had them. I mean, I am highlighting here. I know I have not done much stitching here. Trying to keep, this is not an easy pattern to follow, believe it or not, when you're trying to also talk. Okay. 19, first foreign country you've gone to. Mexico. Cancun was the first time I've actually had to use a passport. God, that was a trip I want to forever remove from my memory. My husband's mom had died a couple months beforehand. Him and his sister had the idea of taking the entire family on a week trip to Cancun. And this trip included my husband's ex-wife, which is his daughter's mother, her new husband, and his daughter. So yeah, going on vacation with my husband's ex-wife, not high on my list of things to do. Yeah, and I don't get along with my husband's sister's husband. So yeah, it was, that was an awful vacation. And you know, it's just difficult going on vacation with like 12 people. Trying to decide what to do and everything. No, it's not for me. Okay. First movie you remember seeing. Whew, that's a good one. First movie? E.T.? You think that was like, what, 1980? And I would have been 6? I'm going to say E.T. because I remember we saw it in the movies. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to say E.T. And man, I really hope I'm not miscounting this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Love movies. When was your first detention? I've never had detention. Now, I do remember... this is kind of a God. I'm trying to think how I was in high school. When I was in 9th grade, I took geometry. And I sat in the back next to this 10th or 11th grader who I just thought he was so cute. And he seemed interested in me, believe it or not. I don't know if he was. Well, you know, I was a good student in school. But we talked so much that I wound up like having a D in the class at midterms. And my teacher was like, I'm going to move you up to the front of the class. So he moved me up to the front, away from this guy. And I wound up getting an A in the class. Yeah. Yeah, not exactly detention, but I wound up staying after for tutoring. And, yeah, he nipped that right in the bud. So I guess I have him to thank for that because... believe it or not, I found out like after high school, that guy I was sitting next to, he wound up becoming a drug addict. Not that that's a bad thing. You know what I mean. Not that that's a bad thing. Let me reword that. That he had just gotten into cocaine and things like that. And it was heartbreaking because he seemed like a pretty decent guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, number 22. Who was your first roommate? I've never had a roommate. Whoever, my first husband, when I moved in with him, if you want to consider that a roommate. But whenever I've lived in an apartment, when I've been single, I've lived on my own. Never wanted a roommate. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 23, what is the first thing you do when you get home? Well, I work at home, so it's not like I'm coming home from that. But when I come home from anywhere, I put away my coat, put away my keys, take off my shoes, put away my purse, put away whatever I've bought. Like if I've gone somewhere and I've bought something. But yeah, I put my stuff away. Like I don't just come in and just throw everything on the floor. I like our house to be neat and my stuff in the same spot so I don't lose things. You know what I mean? Okay, we're coming to the last question here. When was your first kiss? Oh boy. Actually, it was like second grade. Yeah, I had a boyfriend like first or second grade. But like first real kiss, like serious kiss, was 7th grade. Over the summer between 7th and 8th grade. Yeah, I really like that guy. Still friends with him on Facebook, but yeah, 7th grade, 8th grade. Yep. Okay, that's it. 46 minutes. I think that's plenty for a Stitch With Me video. I feel like I didn't get that much accomplished because I had to tear out all that, but that's at least a start. That is part of the R and the I in spring. So as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.